everybody. This is Jason with Off the Shelf Workshop from Bench to Layout. So last week I started the bracing of our walls, and I also did the cleanup of our urethane castings. So this week we're going to stain or weather our our wood walls, and then we'll get our first coat of paint wash on them. Then I'm also going to get the windows, all of our white metal castings, ready for priming. Let me switch over here real quick. I already got our castings, our urethane castings. Here we go. Already got them cleaned up. We got all the window frames, the door frames. There's just a very thin layer of urethane in there, but got that all cut out. So my next order of business is to get those primed, get the windows and doors primed, white metal castings primed, because I'm going to put the same color primer on everything, and then that way they're ready to go when I need them. I can just put whatever color paint I want on them. So that's what's on the agenda for part number 2. Hope you enjoy it. And any questions, comments, please, I need your input. I want it. If there's anything that you think I should try doing differently, any ideas, I'd appreciate it. So let's get to it. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue painter's tape and some cardboard, and I'm going to put out the castings, all the white metal. I counted them up. There was like 158 white metal castings and 32 pigeons. So I'm going to get that all put out on cardboard, taped up so it doesn't blow away when I hit it with the spray paint. I'm going to take that outside and get that done, because obviously the fumes are pretty bad, and you don't want to be inhaling that inside, and especially doing it on the inside here. So that's up next. All right, so how many of you thought in that last video clip that I had messed up? Yeah, I realized it, and this is why you always check before you do anything. I put my clapboard siding in. I was going to take that out and spray paint it, which I didn't want to do. But I didn't. I caught it in time, because, always measure twice, check twice, spray paint once. So I caught that. good thing that it would have been the end of the world, but I want to get some wash on it. So I got my alcohol India ink mix here, and I am just gonna apply it to my clapboard siding and get that done, and so I can get weights on top of it, just like I did when I had glued the strip wood on there for the bracing. So that's up next. Staining all that. So all right, so had to do that quick because that that's where will start to warp real quick, especially when you're putting that much moisture into the wood with the alcohol. The alcohol is going to evaporate quick, but you got the ink that's going to be in that soaks into the wood as well, and so that's gonna start to warp really quick, more so than with just the glue. You have a little bit more working time with the glue, but putting alcohol in that it's or onto that wood, it'll just be so quick. So I got that under my 2 pieces of plywood with my big dictionary on top of it. I'm gonna let that dry and flatten out. Probably won't touch that for another uh, 12 hours or so, uh, or longer. But yeah, so that part's done. We're primed with windows or white metal castings. So the next piece is I'm going to go through my instructions here and reread again what's going to happen next. It looks like I'm going to be doing the styrene and inserting the windows. I know on the front of the store there's a urethane casting, and it's going to have some brass that will sandwich the piece of styrene into that. So I'm going to take a look at that because that's going to be a little tricky to trim everything up there. But yeah, so those are the next steps, and so I'll take a look at that, and we'll keep moving on. All right, so I have brought the castings, all the urethane castings, um, back in, all dried up. They're well, except for the backs, I didn't do those, but got the windows. I got everything um, prepped. I'm gonna set aside all my uh, white metal castings for now, but they are all prepped up, ready to go. The ones that I will grab out of here are the metal ones that are needed for the general store. So I'm gonna start pulling those. Then we'll start painting up the windows and pick a color on that. I, I, I think I'm gonna go green. I like this green deep, but we'll start. So I'm gonna pick this stuff up, set it aside. So I've only have taken out what I'm going to need to start the store. So we got all the windows, the metal doors, metal windows. These are all the metal, and I'm just gonna start in on those and start painting those. I'm gonna put my eyes on, but yeah, here we go. All right, so there you have it. I've got the green down. I mixed it. It looked like it come out to be almost like a copper patina green. So we'll call it Statue of Liberty green. But I think that's all for today. Next time we will get to doing the walls, getting those painted and weathered up a little bit, and windows installed. See you next time. All right, so I got down here this morning and I noticed that some of my pieces, even though uh, I had them weighted overnight, still got a little bit of bend to them. So one of these things I'm going to do is that I still have to put my wash on the clapboard siding. Got to weigh them down again, and I'm going to leave them set for longer than 24 hours. I think it's wintertime. There's a lot of moisture in the air here in the PNW, so I got to get that done. And then I also noticed that my Statue of Liberty green is more of a mint green now, but we'll work with it. One of the steps also was this urethane piece. Put it underneath here. This is the front of the general store, and one of the instructions were to scrape out the white pieces here to get that contrast. And I went ahead and did that, but then I also noticed that it was after the primer was on it that I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. So I did go ahead and do a little bit of white paint inside there. So next thing will be getting the wash on the sides here of the clapboard, and then we'll also raise some boards. I'll use a wire brush, kind of get some wood grain in there a little bit before we get our wash on there. So that's what's up next. All right, so up next, I got some of my clapboards pulled up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that in this overhead shot here, but I got some of those distressed. Next thing now is to do a wash. I'm going to use this antique white against this Statue of Liberty green, I'm calling it. And so I'll get a little bit of water, and then I'm going to do just light washes on this. And then, because we're introducing moisture, but it's also paint, so it's going to be a little bit tacky, one of the things I use is some wax paper, and I put the pieces in between the two boards that I have for weights, and then I'll let those dry. Hopefully flatten some of these out that have gotten a little, it's the bigger pieces that tend to get a little bit warped. I don't know if you can, I'm going to set this down here on this line here, and you can kind of see that it's a little bit warped. So we'll get it straightened out. It's the nature of it. So anyways, that'll be up next, and then I'm going to start working on some of these windows, I think, and yeah, we'll see where this takes us. Okay, so we got the clapboard siding all painted. It's underneath the big Webster's Dictionary to keep it from warping. Next piece that we're going to work on is the store front here. Got it all painted up. And then we've got the brass pieces that will fit into the windows here. But first, we got to file them down a little bit to get that good fit. And then we'll cut some glass and set that in there, a little bit of glue, and that will be finished up with that. And then we'll get the glass installed on this. Again, glass. And before you know it, it'll be time to start putting the walls up. All right, so I got the filing done for these brass pieces going to the windows there. And I think I'm going to follow Mike Kursick's lead when he did not paint the brass for his Spencer box build. He left the brass as is, and I think I kind of like this look. And I'm gonna stick with it. I think we'll call that the Mike Kursick look. What do you think? I like it. I really like it. So got those filed. These two, this one especially was a little bit tight, so you got to do a little bit of filing on that guy. But yeah, just got the little flat file and did that. And so next piece we're gonna put some glass in that, and we're gonna start tightening things up. All right, since my last recording, I've got the windows trimmed out in their dry fitted into um, the the sides. Next step is to just start gluing into place. All right, so we're gonna let those dry, and we will get the acetate in behind those for our glass, and we'll start assembling the walls. Okay, welcome back. So in our bracing section of uh, the instructions, we had to remove, or going to have to remove, half of this bracing on walls A1 and A2. This is where the front of the store is going to go. So we're going to have to remove the bracing here. So I'm going to switch my cameras over so you can see here what I'm doing. I'm using my flat chisel X-Acto knife to mark down to about half of this board here, this brace. And what I will do is I will very carefully remove those sections one at a time. So you see those marks I'm making. So I'll continue making those marks. I'll do it for both sides, and then we'll get ready to install the corner trim pieces on here. And then once that's done, we will be able to start constructing the general store portion of Kendall's. All right, so we got the half of this piece of bracing removed. So this is going to be the front of the store here. Uh, and so once we got that done, now it is time to install our corner trim. All right, so I got the why this light is not cooperating with me. I got the 1/16 inch corner trim pieces installed. Let me get us into the overhead cam mode here so that you can see. So we got the trim pieces here installed on A3 and as well as on A4. Got that done. We got our styrene, acetate, whatever it is called, installed. And we've glued up our two urethane casting pieces for the front of the store and the steps. So we're going to let that dry. We're going to just keep everything out to dry. And on our next video, we will start assembling these walls.